C18 quickly involves is called the Online News Act, and it is designed to provide support, the government says, for Canada's media. That includes not only conventional print, but also any number of radio, of the CBC even. And the idea that they've got is that that should all be paid for by the large internet platforms such as YouTube, such as Google and Facebook.
Okay, so yeah, I guess starting with the C11 and that's talking about the regulation of user content. I mean, they kind of deny that, but that's essentially what it's about, and they use the CanCon uh, basis for feeling that they're going to do it. One of the things you'd spoken on was that it wouldn't even necessarily protect Canadian content all that better anyhow, and it might not be the route to go.
Yeah, well, I think one of to me, one of the foundational problems with C11, the Broadcasting Act bill, is that it is framed by the government as being there largely to promote Canadian content, and they often discuss that in terms of saying we want to ensure that Canadian stories get made. But the not so secret reality of the current Canadian system is that it does a really lousy job of doing that, and so it's a bit more of a tick box exercise where if you check the right boxes, you are considered to be Canadian content. And if you don't, you're not. And the problem with that is that there is content that qualifies as being Canadian content that most would agree has really nothing to do with or even pretend to be about Canadian stories in any meaningful way. It just ticked the right boxes. And then on the other hand, you get content that in many respects meets all the standards that we would otherwise consider to be Canadian content, yet it doesn't qualify. Just to give you one example, I raised it when I appeared before the Heritage Committee earlier this week. One of Netflix's productions is a Quebec produced French based film called Jusqu'à Déclin. It's got a Canadian production company, screenwriter, director, lead performers, photography director, production designer, composer, editor. Quite literally, it ticks every box. But the fact that it is Netflix that financed and produced it means that it does not count as certified Canadian content. So we've got a system that frankly just isn't fit for purpose if the goal is truly to promote these so-called Canadian stories.